The sun was setting over the vast, golden plains of the Serengeti. The tall grasses swayed gently in the warm breeze, and the sounds of nature echoed in the distance, lions roaring, zebras neighing, and the calls of distant birds filling the air. Deep within this breathtaking land, two young animals were about to experience something they had never felt before. Jabari, a young lion cub, was wandering away from his pride. His golden fur shimmered under the fading sunlight. He was brave and curious, always wanting to explore what lay beyond the safety of his family. His father, the great Lion King, had warned him not to wander too far, but Jabari couldn't help himself. He loved adventure. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in the bushes. His ears perked up, and he crouched low, ready to pounce on whatever was hiding. But when the bushes parted, Jabari froze. There, standing before him, was not another lion cub, but a beautiful young gazelle named Amara. Her brown eyes sparkled with curiosity as she stared back at Jabari. Unlike other gazelles who would run at the sight of a lion, Amara stood her ground. She had always been different from the others in her herd, more daring, more fearless.
Who are you?
Jabari asked, his voice filled with surprise.
My name is Amara.
The gazelle replied softly.
And you must be Jabari, the prince of the lions. How do you know my name?
Amara smiled.
Everyone in the Serengeti knows about you. They say you'll be the next great king.
Jabari blushed under his fur, not sure how to respond.
I'm just exploring. What are you doing here all alone? Shouldn't you be with your herd?
Amara looked away for a moment.
Sometimes, I like to explore on my own too. I don't always fit in with the others.
Jabari understood that feeling. Though he was surrounded by his family, he often felt like he didn't belong. The expectations of being a future king weighed heavily on him.
You shouldn't be talking to me,
Jabari said after a moment.
Lions and gazelles, we're not supposed to be friends. Why not? Because my father once told me that lions and gazelles are enemies. Yeah, my mama once told me too, but I don't think it's right. Yeah, but looking at you I think I like you, we can be friends. Yeah, I like you too.
He had always been told that lions and gazelles were enemies, but looking at Amara he didn't feel like they had to be. Days turned into weeks, and Jabari and Amara continued to meet in secret. Every evening, when the sun was low, they would find each other in the tall grasses of the Serengeti. They would talk for hours, sharing stories about their lives, their dreams, and their fears. One evening, Amara laughed as Jabari told her about the time he tried to catch a butterfly and ended up falling into a river.
You, the mighty lion prince, scared of a butterfly?
Jabari grinned sheepishly.
I was just a cub back then. And that butterfly was really fast.
They both laughed, their voices mixing with the sounds of the Serengeti. But as the laughter faded, Amara's expression grew serious.
What will happen to us?
She asked quietly.
When you become king, will we still be friends?
Jabari didn't know what to say. He had been thinking about that too. He knew that his father and the other lions would never accept his friendship with a gazelle. It was forbidden. Lions hunted gazelles. That was the way of the Serengeti.
I don't know,
Jabari admitted, his heart heavy.
But I don't want to lose you.
Amara looked up at the stars.
Maybe we don't have to follow the old rules. Maybe we can make our own.
Starting to twinkle in the sky, Jabari looked at her, a hope flickering in his chest. Could they really change the way things were? Could a lion and a gazelle be friends, or even more? One evening, as Jabari and Amara met in their usual spot, something felt different. The air was thick with tension, and the wind seemed to whisper warnings. Jabari's ears twitched, and his nose caught a familiar scent, lions. But not just any lions. His father's pride was nearby.
Amara, we have to leave. Now!
Jabari said, panic rising in his voice. But it was too late. From the shadows, the great lion king, Jabari's father, emerged. His golden mane glowed under the moonlight, and his eyes were fierce.
Jabari, what are you doing with this gazelle?
He roared. Amara stepped back in fear, but Jabari stood his ground.
Father, it's not what you think. Amara is my friend.
Friend?
The Lion King's voice was filled with anger.
Lions do not befriend gazelles. They are our prey. Have you forgotten who you are?
No, Father. I haven't forgotten. But why does it have to be this way? Why can't we choose our own path?
The Lion King's eyes softened for a moment as he looked at his son, but then they hardened again.
It is the law of the Serengeti. You are to be king one day, and you must respect the ways of our ancestors.
Jabari's heart raced. He didn't want to lose Amara, but he also didn't want to disobey his father.
Please, Father,
Jabari pleaded.
just this once, can't we let love guide us instead of fear?
For a long time, the Lion King said nothing. The silence stretched on, and Jabari felt his hope slipping away. But then, to Jabari's surprise, his father sighed.
Perhaps there is wisdom in what you say, my son. The Serengeti is changing, and maybe, we must change with it.
Jabari's eyes widened.
Does that mean?
You may be friends, but remember this, change takes time. Not everyone will accept it, and there will be challenges ahead.
Amara stepped forward, her eyes filled with gratitude.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
The Lion King turned to her.
Take care of my son. He will need friends like you in the days to come.
With that, the great Lion King disappeared into the night, leaving Jabari and Amara standing together, the stars shining brightly above them. From that day on, Jabari and Amara's friendship grew stronger. They no longer had to hide, but they knew the road ahead would not be easy. The other lions and gazelles still struggled to accept their bond, but Jabari and Amara believed that love was stronger than any rule or tradition. Together, they dreamed of a future where lions and gazelles could live side by side, where friendship and love could overcome fear and hatred. And as they watched the sun rise over the Serengeti, they knew that their story was just beginning.